Hello everyone, welcome back to round 4 of Modern FNM here at GameSwap in Mason, Ohio, brought to you by Top Tech Productions as always. For this round we have Michael Farrell again, who we saw a bit earlier with a quick game. He's on Abzan against Phil Jones on Death and Taxes.
Yeah, so this matchup's pretty interesting. I would tend to believe that the mid-range Abzan deck is favored because your card quality is a little higher, and both of them are sort of just, you know, mid-rangey disruptive decks. But Death and Taxes, you can get there when your opponent stumbles. You know, if you can actually successfully Leonone and Arbiter your opponent, take them off lands.
Right.
If you can generate 2-for-1s with Restoration Angel, you can get there. But I think typically Abzan's favored, unless if Phil was on like an Eldrazi in Taxes, I think it gets a little bit different. But if he's on just mono white, I think Abzan's slightly favored. I think it looked like he was just on mono white. Unfortunately, he is also on a mulligan to 5, so that is not a great start. No, it's not, especially when your opponent is on Abzan.
Yeah.
I can't think of many 5-card hands that do it here, but maybe Mike is stuck on fetch lands and he doesn't have an answer for the turn 2 Leonine Arbiter. Who knows?
Yeah, that's possible. So hopefully Phil finds a keepable 5.
Yeah, what Phil's gonna want.
I wonder what would happen if they like established a threshold on mulliganing where you had to stop at 5 or maybe 4, and then you just kept drawing that many cards until you. Well, I guess you couldn't really.
No, but that would be broken for combo decks.
Right.
I've always thought that it would be nice to give players 1 free mulligan, but that would probably pretty heavily favor combo decks and also make the problem of silver bullet sideboards a little worse.
Sure. Well, so Phil's on green-white Death and Taxes. Okay. But he had a pretty good start here with Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Avacyn's Pilgrim. I wonder. So this deck might be named incorrectly. So this could just be green-white Hatebears.
That's probably.
But if it's green-white Hatebears, you don't expect the Avacyn's Pilgrim unless it's a budget hierarch version.
Sure.
Or if there's a human tribal here. But I don't think we have human tribal, because didn't we see a Leonine Arbiter in hand?
Yeah, in one of the hands that I saw one.
So human tribal seems doubtful. But so maybe that Avacyn's Pilgrim is like a one-of budget like substitute for a hierarch.
For a hierarch, sure. The turn 2 Thalia though seems pretty good. He's gonna meet a turn 2 Dark Confidant from Mike.
A little bit better than Thalia, I think.
Sure, yeah. Although Phil does have the path. And instead he's gonna go with the Arbiter.
Yeah, the thing is, path would cost him 2 mana there, which kind of sucks.
But I mean,
but now you give him the card with Confidant. So
right.
And the thing about pathing it though is, he gets a land anyway.
Sure.
Really no good way for decks like Phil's to answer Confidant, unless you're playing Eldrazi and you could do something like Wasteland Strangler.
Yeah. So there is a land from Dark Confidant, and then Mike drew a land for his turn as well. I don't know if he's going to be doing any more deck searching. He's already correct 2 fetch lands. So I think at this point you definitely should
just start trying to get in there with that Thalia. Swing for 2.
I would swing with the I would swing with the Arbiter as well.
Yeah, just because he not a lot of more relevant fetches. Yeah, sure.
And I mean, if you want to path this guy anyway.
So 2 mana to Fatal Push to Thalia. So why do you do that? Why do you? I guess it doesn't matter, but you didn't have to pay 2 mana for path there.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter.
But
we also Ghost Court of the Overgrown too.
Well, that's probably correct, right?
Yeah. When he didn't have mana to pay for the Arbiter, although Scavenging Ooze here,
pretty good. Is real good.
Yeah.
A lot of these decks.
Thalia's not exiled. Yeah, there we go.
A lot of these matchups with decks like these, you know, like Naya midrange versus Abzan, or Abzan versus Jund, or you know these Hatebears type decks versus Jund or Abzan, really comes down to Scavenging Ooze. Card is an absolute house. Whoever draws theirs first. I assume Phil has some of his own. They might be in the sideboard, but he probably has a main.
What? You mean Phil?
I'm sorry?
Phil has some of his own?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's Tarmogoyf as well, and Scavenging Goose is going to eat the other human in Phil's graveyard, making it a 4/4. Phil's going to fall to 16.
Is that a Wilty Liege?
I don't know. Didn't get a good look at it. Yeah, so the Arbiter didn't do much. It basically let him strip mine the Overgrown Tomb, but it has not had a much greater impact. It was a Blade Splicer.
Okay.
Yeah, even that is not great here, as Scavenging Goose is already a 4/4. It does block Tarmogoyf for the time being, but probably will not be the case for long.
Yeah, so what we do know is that Phil must be on the Flicker Wisp plan,
Sure.
and probably the Restoration Angel if he has Blade Splicer. If we saw a card like Loxodon Smiter or Wiltleaf Liege, we would know he was on more of an aggro Bears plan. It looks more like a value Bears Death and Taxes package, but I can't quite tell how much green he has.
Yeah. I think you probably don't want to block here yet. So Phil's going to go to 12.
Ooh, Siege Rhino.
There's the
brutal.
The Abzan namesake.
Yeah.
Siege Rhino.
Yeah, so here we just see the card quality of Abzan sort of overpowering the green-white here. Unless you can really gimmick him with that Arbiter or something, it can be pretty tough to compete. But Flicker Wisp is not bad.
He's going to flicker the Skoo so that he's able to block it with a token, sure. Maybe would have just flickered the old Blade Splicer.
The Blade Splicer, yeah, get another
That's kind of risky, though, because if he has Fatal Push, then you get blown out. Or Path.
Sure. Oh, Path for Mike here.
Yeah, as well as another Scavenging Goose.
Oh, jeez.
Gonna attack with Siege Rhino. If you're taking it at this point, you're getting kind of low. But there's not really any good block since it is Trample. You could just put everything in front of it. Sometimes I like doing that. Just throwing your entire board in front of a threat.
Yeah, sure, seems fine. Oh, Souls. Souls is good, but one Restoration Angel can do pretty good work against that. But again, Mike's got this path. So.
Yeah, and Phil also has not been able to find a 4th land after using that Ghost Quarter. Not sure if Phil has a way out of this.
Yeah, multiple Arbiters is not where you want to be.
Yeah, the second Arbiter is not great.
Is that a Goyf for Mike?
Not sure. At this point, I think he's... So we're attacking for 3, 7, 9 total. Farrell is 3-0 currently. I think both of these players are 3-0.
Yeah, this is the table 2, right?
Yeah, this is table 2. So Phil is not just dead here. He's got to make some very poor blocks.
Yeah, that feels bad.
Yeah, double blocking Goyf. And at least he probably only gets blown out once rather than on both blocks.
Now, what if Phil top decks a Dusk to Dawn?
Well, that would be very good. Well,
he would still be dead, right?
Yeah.
Because the Skoos would stay alive and the Shambling Vents would stay alive.
Yeah, he's dead regardless. I know you can't really top deck anything. He takes 2 there. He probably takes more.
Right, Dusk to Dawn wouldn't even kill the Lingering Souls.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't do much. You really just a straight Wrath of God, and even that, he'd still be dead with the Shambling Vent.
Well, that seemed tough. So I think what Phil needs to do here is hopefully he has some cards that compete in the value game with Abzan. I'm thinking that if you have the Brimaz, Brimaz is okay at that.
Yeah.
Gets blown out by removal with no ETB effect, but still pretty good if you can get in any swings or blocks with it. Sigarda is really good here. Just a valuable creature that your opponent can't deal with. Presents a clock.
I wonder, so Phil, the green in his deck is for Collected Company, right?
Almost never, no.
Really?
And the reason is because of Thalia.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason you're playing green is usually for Noble Hierarch, and then for some utility cards like Scavenging Ooze, and then occasionally in these decks like the Loxodon Smiter or the Kitchen Finks.
Okay, sure.
And some sideboard stuff. Yeah. But no, typically you won't find Coco in a Hatebears deck of any kind because of Thalia. you sort of have to pick one or the other.
They play the new Thalia as well.
Yeah, new Thalia is pretty good here. It just dies to removal. I wonder if he has it though. You think Rest in Peace for Phil seems good enough? I think that's good enough.
Yeah,
when he's got Lingering Souls.
I think I like that. We got Lingering Souls and Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I think that's. I think
you might assume he has. Well, I guess seeing Bob, you probably don't assume he's on Flare as well.
Yeah, and Phil almost. I mean, Phil probably has no graveyard interaction except for maybe like a lone Eternal Witness.
Yeah.
So who knows what we'll see here? I think Mike also just wants to do kind of the same thing.
Yeah, maybe like a Flaying Tendrils could be pretty good here.
Yeah, Flaying Tendrils. Try to do some sweepers, but I think Mike, if he has like the Olivia Voldaren in the sideboard or something, cards like that are just they just rub it in. Oh yeah, I can't. God, that's the second time today I've done that.
That's like the 9th time today.
Yeah, I keep thinking Mike is on Jun because. Well, anyway.
Mike is a Jun guy.
Well, maybe he's also got a Sigarda. Maybe we'll see the Sigarda on Sigarda.
If that happens.
Well, interestingly, the Sigarda matchup here, Lingering Souls is a good blocker for those Sigardas on the opposing side, but Phil might have the Exalted triggers for his Sigarda. So
sure.
This could go any way. This is any Sigarda's game.
It'll probably be neither Sigarda's game, but you can keep your hopes up.
I bet Phil's got one, and I bet he's bringing it in. That's my gut feeling.
Have you whispered in his ear to play Sigarda?
No, I have not whispered in his ear. No, I haven't been that close to those gauges. Oh, thank you, Arthur Blanc.
And Porchai as well. Thanks for the follow.
Is it Arthur O'Blanc or Arthur O'Blanc? I bet it's an Irish last name.
Yeah, I think it's Arthur O'Blanc.
Or it could be his middle name. It's like Oswald.
That's possible. So hopefully Phil also doesn't have to mulligan to 5 this game. That obviously
yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Was not good for him.
No.
Well, both players are mulliganing. It's
okay,
6, it looks like.
That's fine. I'm trying to think, what elegant answers does Phil have to Lingering Souls? Does he have any?
Well, I doubt he's. No, I mean, all token interaction like that is basically in black, right? I don't really know.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I mean, you can block him with Resto.
Yeah, block with Resto seems good enough, and he might have Stirring Wildwood. It's pretty good. Stirring Wildwood's usually in the Wiltleaf Liege versions, which I don't think this is, but he probably has 1 or 2 still.
So we'll see if the players like their 6.
You know what would be cool would be, do you know the card Arashi, the Sky Asunder? A 5-mana 5/5 in green from Kamigawa. It has Channel.
Oh, yeah.
And it can tap to...
It does damage to flying creatures.
Yeah, unfortunately, that would kill Phil's own Flicker Wisps.
Yeah. So it looks like players both like their 6, and Phil does have the turn 1 Ether Vial here, so that
could be good.
Good start for Hatebears, right where you want to be. The rest of his hand looks pretty good. He's got a Ghost Quarter here, and here is Thalia. Interesting that Mike did not yet crack his... Okay, never mind.
He didn't have a second land.
Yeah, now we know why. So
man.
An Arbiter here might just put the game away.
Mike with the greed. Oh, man.
Dude.
Mikey.
Not able to find the second land yet. An Arbiter...
discard Souls is fine.
Sure.
Thing is, this Death Taxes deck doesn't put up quite a clock.
He does not have an Arbiter, but you know what Phil does have is an Aven Mind Sensor.
Oh, baby. Does he have a 3rd land? Oh, he's got a Violent 3, sure. Oh, he's got a an Invocation Mind Sensor.
He's going to Mind Sensor retain priority Ghost Quarter? What?
Wait, I'm sorry, did he... Okay. Well,
so I guess that was actually pretty interesting. So he Ghost Quartered him, so Mike fetched in response. Didn't find the target from the Verdant, but found the Plains, which he could have gotten had he taken the Ghost Quarter hit.
Right. Well, so that's, like we said earlier, that's kind of the gimmick that Phil wants to happen, is to get the land destruction plan rolling. Of course, Mike kept a really greedy hand there.
Well, sure.
And also, Mike is now on the play, so it's going to be much tougher for that kind of thing to work out anyway.
Right.
Turn 2 Mind Sensor off of Mana Dork is really good.
Yeah.
On the play,
right,
it's a little bit
not
worse
quite
on
as
the
good.
draw. All right. Well, maybe we'll see some Sigarda on Sigarda action here. I don't want that to sound sexual.
Keep your fantasies to yourself.
I only realized just now how never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Lingering Soul seems like a huge problem for this. They block Flicker Wisp. They block.
Oh yeah, blocking that's brutal.
And they block Mind Sensor.
Of course, you can Flicker Wisp the tokens away.
That's true, but
so
only one of them.
Yeah. I want to see Phil blow his opponent out with Shining Shoals or Intervention Packs. I want to see Mike like swing it in with a 6/7 Tarmogoyf, because he put a Vial in the yard.
Sure.
And then just get blown out by a Shining Shoal. Did I tell you about that? There's actually maybe about a year and a half ago. There was a mono white Death and Taxes list that got 4th place at like a GP, I think, with Death and Taxes with no Aether Vials, just 4
Shining Shoals.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
All right. Well, it looks like both players kept 7 here.
Well, that's good. Mike's being aggressive with his fetches here. Doesn't want to
get arbitered. Although interesting, it looks like Phil did not have the turn 1 Aether Vial this go. So that'll slow him down quite a bit. See what Farrell has on turn 2. He's going to go Blooming March into Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, even though Vial seems like it just puts you down a card in this matchup, when it allows you to generate early 2-for-1s and use your mana efficiently to resto, a Blade Splicer and that kind of thing, it actually puts you up cards most of the time. Same thing as in Merfolk.
Thank you for the follow, Harry Falco.
Harry Falco.
Ooh, I do not like that block. So Phil just blocked, unless he has another Scooz, I guess, but Phil just blocked Farrell's Scooz with his own Scooz, but now he can't exile the Lingering Souls.
Oh yeah, wait. Did he have a second Scooz or no?
No, he just played Finks instead. Hey, that
you
block.
Have to. Oh man, you gotta exile that Lingering Souls. I wonder if Phil has Relic.
I mean, maybe, but he had to exactly draw it there. I mean, the souls are coming back.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe there's something we don't know, but yeah, you're right, Mario. I can't get behind that play.
Well, he didn't flash it back yet. Here's a Tarmogoyf, but I mean, you probably don't have another opportunity to get rid of them. Attacking with Finks into Tarmogoyf. Just to get more life? Yeah.
Maybe he has a Restoration Angel,
What? Life goes on.
Life goes on. Folks, for those who don't know, that is a 1 mana.
Oh my gosh.
1 mana, gain 8 life.
If a creature and then Flicker Wisp Blade. We are on green-white life gain over here.
Why do you want that though? Why do you want Rest for the Weary, why do you want Life Goes On in this deck?
So you can gain some life.
I just don't get it. So interestingly, maybe you guys read the same article. I read an article by some pro player, maybe it was like Ross Merriam, who said that this was one of the top, I think the top card being anticipated for Modern from Hour of Devastation. And I was skeptical. I don't think this card's very good. I think I'd much rather play, Feed the Clan, Rest for the Weary, pull some Arasa, if you're going to play that kind of card. But it was speculated to have a big impact on some Modern sideboards. But I don't know, and I especially don't like it coming in here.
Well, Phil's at 32 now. Unfortunately, the board state is kind of stalled out as he can't really attack with the Flicker Wisp into these Lingering Souls. And Farrell has drawn it. And is life going on again?
I just don't get it. You don't even win the long game here. You don't. Do you want as green-white Hatebears? Do you want this game to go long?
You don't have much value.
I mean, if you can chain a bunch of Restos with Blade Splicers, that's fine, but...
Yeah, here's Flame Tendrils, so that
does not kill the Tarmogoyfs. It kills everything else, though.
Yeah, that is not good for Phil. That might just be game, honestly.
Yeah, I cannot get behind the life goes on. Maybe he's got like Felidar Sovereign out of the sideboard. He's just trying to get to 40
Those guys
life.
are exiled by the Flaying Tendrils.
Yeah.
There we go. So now Tarmogoyfs are up to 4/5s. They do have their power reduced for this turn, but... okay.
But so Mike still has how many cards in hand?
I am not sure.
Mike still has, I think, one card in hand. And you can't really top deck better than Abzan here.
That's probably true.
There's only one deck that top decks better than Abzan, and that's Big Naya midrange.
I guess when you have Bonfire, sure. So I think Farrell is now out of lands, though.
Okay, well, Thalia is terrible here.
Yeah,
it's a 2/1 first strike for 2. Unless Farrell brought in, I don't know. Unless Farrell brought in... I don't know, Black Sun Zenith that he needs to cast for 6. Okay, Bob. Yeah, Bob is much better than Thalia here.
Yeah, and he still had Lingering Souls in the graveyard from before, so those are back.
But he's got to whittle through this 34 life.
Oh, there goes Plains. So Mike's out of white mana, I think.
Oh, baby.
That's good.
But Mike has a path.
That's true. But is he out? I think he's out of white mana.
Is he totally out of white mana, though?
I can't...
Does he
he might... Yeah, he's out of basics.
On board, but does he have like a Temple Garden left?
Oh, sure. He might have one of those. I'm not sure, though.
He's got a Verdant Catacombs in play.
Right.
Well, I guess we'll find out if Mike has white mana, because he'll definitely path here if he does. All right, well,
we better show him
the white land. Oh, there it is.
It's a
That's
Godless
Shrine.
Mike is checking his deck to see how many white sources he may have left. Oh, we got to pay 2 for that.
No, it's possible Mike could kill himself to his own Bob here, but he does have a second path in hand to path his Bob.
Right. He is down to 14, and Phil is at 30. So I can't believe we just saw it. Life goes on.
Hey man,
oh, and a Blade Splicer. That's not bad.
It's okay.
Is that a Gideon? Oh, Mike has a Gideon Stranded in his hand.
Oh, he can't cast that Gideon?
No, because he doesn't have double white.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that makes up for the 2-for-1 from the worthless.
Sure.
The worthless rest for the weary, or life goes on.
Life goes on. Yeah. Life does go on. Second Bob. No, okay, Fatal Push. Sure.
If you're Mike, I feel like you want to hold on to that Fatal Push in case he finds like a Brimaz or something.
Yeah, perhaps. But he doesn't need another way to trigger Revolt for anything bigger than Thalia. Do we play the second Bob?
I don't think you play the second Bob.
That's what Mike's considering. Well, no, we're getting in there for 2.
God, maybe we're just totally wrong, and this 8 life is going to come up huge.
Who knows?
I mean, if Mike kills himself with his Bob, that's super relevant.
Got another path?
Okay, well, now Mike doesn't have a removal spell for his own Bob, at least now.
Yeah, that's true.
And he does have to whittle through 30 life. Though I suppose, how relevant do we think the 8 life from Life Goes On is compared to the rest of the life gained by Finks?
We'll have to see. Well, he just hit a Souls off Bob, so he's down to 10.
Yeah, but Souls is going to create a pretty good
the clock
here.
Considerably, sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe we got the Gideon Ally Zendikar stranded in hand.
Yeah, that's insane.
I wonder what Phil drew for the turn. Arresto would be amazing.
Yeah, Resto because then he could block the Souls, get another Golem.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about it. All right. Well, here's a lot of spirits. And there for 2.
Is that a Hissing Quagmire that Mike just played, or a Blooming Marsh?
I think it was a Blooming Marsh. So it looks like it was not a Resto. We did not ambush one of the spirits there. Here is this Thalia. Okay.
So that would have been cool to make the spirits come in tapped last turn, but it also means that if Mike plays a fetch land now, it'll come in tapped, denying him of white.
Ooh, okay, that is what Mike needed to draw there. A Siege Rhino.
Yeah, Siege Rhino's very good. Stabilizes life total, give him a trampling threat. Right. It'll come in tapped here against the Thalia.
Yeah, and this is basically what we saw in the first game of the match. The card quality just is way higher from Michael's end.
Yeah. Not only because the deck is full foil, but also because the cards are
just
better in a vacuum.
Yeah. Arresto still is pretty good for Phil, but it might get too late. Well, we can take out our white source.
Tech Edge was a little bit late to the party here.
And now goes Godless Shrine.
If you could have Tech Edged him off the Siege Rhino, that would have been great.
Right, yeah. But he did draw another Windswept Teeth.
Well, but do we think he has another white source left?
I'm not sure.
He definitely doesn't have a basic plains left.
He does have Maelstrom Pulse. Alright, so Phil's just been sandbagging a land. And I think Mike probably has turned the corner at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Life goes on, not quite getting there. At least as far as we know.
Life did go on,
life did go on for a little bit longer.
It still ended. You know what? I think he also needs to put a life
went to hospice care.
A life's finale in his deck just to get the
what is
theme.
life's finale?
It's it's some sort of board wipe from New Phyrexia that like you like cast it and you also get to exile cards out of your opponent's deck or something. I don't know. It's a weird.
Does it cost like 10 mana?
No, it costs like 6.
Huh. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that card. Yeah. Can we get that up on the screen? For no apparent reason.
There it is. Yes. Oh, you put them into their graveyard. Okay.
That seems like a benefit for them.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel like almost every deck in Modern would think that is a benefit.
Well, Phil did find a Flicker Wisp, but he just isn't making any headway here. He's just getting beaten out by Siege Rhino, Million Flyers. Double block the Rhino and just chump block Bob. Yeah, we still take 6 from the Spirits, and we just...
Well, so this isn't terrible still. Like, for example, the Sigarda here might still win the game.
He's at 1, so probably not.
Oh, sorry. I thought he was going to...
Anything short of a Wrath of God. Oh, heroic intervention. Johnny showing up a little bit too late to the party.
Yeah. Well, so folks, that was something. Some strange card choices by Phil, though. But yeah, good match to watch.
Yeah. So Farrell was just talking about how he couldn't cast his Gideon ever because he got choked off of white mana, but that didn't matter. Bob taking away the game there as Bob tends to do.
But as they say, life goes on.
Life goes on. Not too long for Phil, so
not
he's gonna lose that match. 1-2 to Michael Farrell, and that's gonna do it for round 4. We need to do some technical modifications with the computer, so we're not going to get another game for this round, but we will be back. Hopefully we'll be back for round 5, assuming we're able to find a match. As you guys have probably seen in past weeks, sometimes the players like to split their last round and nobody stays around to play the 5th and final round, but if we do find one, we will definitely be here to commentate that for you. So stay tuned, guys.